Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one, since we're going to be making a pair of speakers with a budget of only around $50. So let's get started. So over the years I've heard people say that music equipment or sound equipment in general always has to be very expensive if you're looking for good quality. And while that might be true, if you're willing to put in some work on your own, you can definitely get some very good results with a very low budget. So the tools and materials we're going to be using for this build are very simple, and you might already have most of them at home. The tools we're going to need are a saw in order to cut all of the different wooden pieces, a drill, a few pieces of sandpaper and a screwdriver. Now the materials are going to be an MDF panel, preferably, which is going to cost you around $30, or any other wooden panels appropriate for the job that you can find around your home. Our speaker drivers that are going to cost $12, and you can find a link to those in the description. If you want to use some tweeters, which is recommended, although the speakers we're using are full range, so they don't really need them, which in my case I used some tweeters I had already, mostly for looks. You can buy some for around $7 to $8, although you don't really need them. But if you decide to get them, you'll also need a crossover, which is going to cost you around $3. Now to put the thing together, we're going to use screws, and that is going to cost us around $2. And to make it look pretty, we're going to use a spray paint, in this case a grey spray paint, which cost me around $4. So the first thing you want to do obviously is make a plan of all of the pieces you're going to need to cut out of your sheet of wood, and then mark them onto the sheet and start cutting away. Once you have all of the pieces cut, you can use a sandpaper to smoothen the edges. Now this next part here is going to be a little bit different from yours, because in this case I actually made the front panel with carbon fiber. I did a skin of carbon fiber over the plywood I was using for the front panel. This is something totally unnecessary, I just did it for looks, and if you don't have the knowledge in order to create something out of carbon fiber, I would definitely recommend you to stay totally out of it. But in case you're interested, for this job you're going to need a little bit of carbon fiber, obviously the dimensions you're going to need, which is actually pretty cheap, around $10, and an epoxy resin or a polyester resin with a hardener, which is going to set you back around $7. Now keep in mind, as I said, you don't need to do that, that's just for looks, and I did it because I already knew how to make carbon fiber, although as you can see the results are not really great. Now before we screw the front panel onto the speaker housings, we need to obviously paint them, which is pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy. Just try to do it a day that is not very humid and the temperature is pretty high, so that paint dries quickly. Now the next part is going to be after you cut your holes with a circular saw or a normal saw for your speakers, and you make sure they're centered. You're going to make the holes with a drill for the speakers after you mark them onto the front panel, and then obviously you're going to screw in the speaker drivers themselves. Now this next part is for those that are going to be using tweeters, and keep in mind that you can swap parts around so you can make your own unique speakers. And if you decide to buy some bigger mid-range drivers for your main speakers and then tweeters, you're going to be using the crossover I'm going to link below, or something maybe of higher wattage according to the speakers you're going to be using. and you connect it according to this diagram you're seeing right now. So this is it for this speaker build, guys. If you're interested in any of these products, you can find them in the links below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to click the like button below and subscribe to my channel, and I'll hopefully see you guys all in the next one.